Years ago, I watched an interview with Thomas Keller, and he said that when you're cooking, it's best when you can use the best ingredients possible. And for that reason, I am going to be using some amazing ingredients today. Hey there! Thanks for stopping by. Today we're gonna be making a French classic, beef Bourguignon, the phenomenal French stew that is cooked in red wine. As I've said before, and many chefs have said before as well, recipes are only for inspiration, and for that reason, today I'm going to be using the classic, timeless French recipe for beef Bourguignon, but we'll slightly change some things to make it more interesting because we're making this in America and I have to use local ingredients. Right, so let's look at the ingredients. First of all, we're going to be using American beef. This is a chuck, which is my favorite cut of beef for a beef stew. I have a slab of bacon here, and we have a varieties of onions. I have regular onion, baby onions, garlic. We also gonna put some mushrooms and carrots in the stew. The stew is going to be made with a bouquet garni, made with a leaf of a leek, and then we're gonna wrap it together with parsley, thyme, bay leaf, and a celery. And after that, we're gonna use this fine American Napa Valley wine from Caymus Winery. It's a Cabernet Sauvignon. And when the stew is ready, we're gonna dip with this wonderful New York bread, and it's going to be amazing. First things first, let's start working on the meat. The first thing that we need to do is to cut the chuck into pieces. And that's very easy to do because the muscle groups on the chuck are clearly defined, and all you have to do is cut between them. And here you see how I'm separating this particular muscle group. And the next thing that I'm going to do is trim off the excess fat. I would recommend saving the fat trimmings to one side because you can put them in the oven and bake them, and they will release the beef tallow, which is amazing for cooking, searing, for basting. When you clean as much fat as you like from the meat, and you might like the meat fattier, you might like it leaner, you cut the meat into big pieces. And here Paul Bocuse recommends that you cut the pieces as big as eggs, and this is what I'm doing. So as you can see, the beef is cut into perfect pieces and it's ready to be seasoned. After you're done cutting the meat, you should have this. On one side I have the chunks of beef that are going to go in the stew, and on the other side I have the fat. And I'm gonna lay the fat flat in a baking dish, and I put it in the oven to extract the beef tallow. All right, so now it's time to season the meat, and as you can see, I like to put some olive oil on it. I like to massage the meat with the olive oil gently because the seasoning sticks better to the meat when we have the olive oil. And after that, I season the meat with salt, pepper, and freshly ground herbes de Provence. After the beef chunks have been seasoned, I like to leave them at room temperature for at least half an hour, and that way they're going to cook faster and better. And now it's time to flour each individual chunk and put it to the side. We're flouring the meat because that way we're going to be able to create that perfect golden brown crust and lock the juices inside. All right, so after you flour the beef, you're gonna have your Dutch oven heated to medium temperature. And here you can see that I'm using a combination of olive oil and regular butter. But you can use your favorite fat. You can use bacon fat, you can use lard, you can use beef tallow, you can use whatever you like. And now you see how I'm putting the chunks in the pot. And here, it's important not to crowd the beef. So this is done for two reasons. Number one, you're gonna have room to flip the beef on each side. And number two, if you overcrowd that pot with beef, the temperature of the cooking oil will drop too much. While the beef is browning, we can open up the wine and see how it tastes. Oh la la, Caymus. I just want to let you know that Caymus is not sponsoring this video and I'm not affiliated with them. Ooh. Truly spectacular. After about 3 minutes per side, this is what a perfect golden brown sear looks like. And now it's time to start turning the pieces, and we do that until it's seared on all sides. While we are finishing searing the meat chunks, we can start working on the next phase, which is cutting the bacon slab into cubes and the onion and the carrots into large pieces. I'm almost done with searing the meat, and as you can see, I have the previous batch to the side while I'm finishing the last pieces. When you're done browning the beef, it's a good practice to drain most of that fat from the pot, because there will be an excessive amount due to the fact that while you're browning the beef, it does release some more fat than the one that you put previously. From this point on, it's pretty straightforward. You add the bacon chunks with the onion and the carrots, and you are going to cook them for 5 to 10 minutes. And after that, we are going to add the beef, the bouquet garni, and the wine. The making of the bouquet garni is pretty easy. You remove one leaf from the leek, and inside you put a piece of celery, the parsley, the thyme, and the bay leaf. And after that, you tie it all together and your bouquet garni is ready. Don't forget to keep mixing your vegetables and the bacon bits for about 10 minutes, and they should be looking golden brown at this point. And now it's the time to add the beef chunks and the bouquet garni and the red wine. I'm just going to pour the entire bottle in the pot. And if you've seen recipes for beef bourguignon, some of them use beef stock, but the first time when I made this, I used the recipe by Paul Bocuse, and the recipe contained only red wine, and I really loved it. And I've tried making it with beef stock, but I think that the beef stock dilutes the flavor of the red wine. That's why I don't use beef stock in my beef bourguignon. Now it's time to add a few spoonfuls of tomato paste, and you can mix it a little bit, but while the beef is braising in the oven, it's gonna dissolve and it's gonna be pretty nice and uniform, so it doesn't require a lot of mixing. You can certainly simmer the beef on the stovetop for a couple of minutes, but now I'm gonna do something else. I have a piece of bread here, and I really wanna clean the bottom of that dish where the beef chunks were sitting in while I was cooking the vegetables, because that juice tastes absolutely divine. And I'm just gonna put some Parmesan cheese on it, and that's gonna make a wonderful little snack, and I'm gonna enjoy that. You really have to try this. It tastes absolutely outstanding. Now it's the time to put the lid on the pot and put that stew inside the oven for 3 hours. My oven has been preheated to 350 degrees, but once when you put it inside, you can reduce the temperature to 300 degrees, and the stew is going to come out absolutely perfect. So now the stew is going to be in the oven for about 3 hours, and we have plenty of time to peel the baby onions, the garlic, and to cut the mushrooms. All these ingredients I like to put in the stew approximately 45 minutes before the stew is ready, because this amount of time is perfect for onions and the garlic to cook perfectly. I just want to show you what the beef bourguignon looks like after 1 hour in the oven. What I like to do is pull the stew out of the oven every 45 minutes to an hour and mix it, because that way it's going to cook perfectly and all the ingredients will infuse together. So we're very close to the dish being ready. This is the final hour out of the 3 hours that it spends in the oven, and now we can start working on the garnish vegetables, which is the baby onions, the garlic, and the mushrooms. And we're going to throw these in the oven 45 minutes before the beef bourguignon is fully ready, and there are certainly 2 ways you can approach that. So if you don't care much about presentation, you go ahead and put the onions, the garlic, and the mushrooms straight in the stew, put the lid on, and put it back in the oven for the remaining 45 minutes, and this is what it's going to look like. However, if you care about presentation, you should do something else. And that something else is to have all the vegetables ready. We're going to season the vegetables with salt, pepper, herbs de Provence, and we're going to glaze the vegetables in a separate pan so they look amazing once when we finish the stew with them. Otherwise, when you cook them in the sauce, they're gonna lose that wow factor because of the darkness of the sauce. All right, let's see what we have here. Careful, it's very hot. Oh my God, it smells so amazing. Okay, so this is the lid. And actually used for cooking. And I can put the vegetables straight in the lid. And this is how we're going to cook it. All right, so I have some butter here. I want to put a generous chunk of butter on these vegetables before I put them in the oven. Just like that. And they're gonna go straight in the oven. And this is the beef stew. Alrighty. So, there they will remain for 45 minutes until they're perfectly cooked. And we're gonna baste them with the butter from time to time. That's all. I just want you to see the vegetables and look at these mushrooms. They look absolutely stunning, and they're gonna make a wonderful presentation due to that golden brown sear. I can't wait to assemble the stew and try it. All right, trying the Caymus beef Bourguignon. Let's see how we did. And the moment of truth. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wow. This is so amazing. The flavor, it's just so deep and smoky, and you can taste the fruitiness from the wine. It's absolutely the best dish I've ever made. Let me see how the meat came out. The meat is completely falling apart. I don't know if you can see that. Oh my God. I'm going to try the meat now. Oh my God. Wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This deep brown sauce that you create with the red wine is unbelievable. Nothing like it. And there you have it. The Caymus beef Bourguignon was so good, I couldn't even believe it. It was truly crazy dish. I highly recommend making one of your own. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, write them in the comment section below, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.